Tropical storm Nate caused heavy flooding in San Jose, Costa Rica, on Thursday. It is expected to strengthen and turn toward the U.S. Juan Carlos Ulate. Reuters want to get this briefing by email. Here's the sign up. Good morning. Here's what you need to know. Las Vegas puzzle endures. In one mass shooting after another, gunmen left evidence of their motives. But days after the mass shooting by Stephen Paddock, what drove him remains a mystery. Here is the latest in the investigation. Late Thursday, the coroner released the names of the 58 victims, ranging in age from 20 to 67. We're collecting their stories. And the National Rifle Association added an unlikely voice to the growing call for tighter restrictions on a device that allowed Mr. Paddock to fire hundreds of rounds a minute. I was just going to bed when the shooting started. We spoke to the man who was staying in the hotel room right below the gunman's. Nobel Peace Prize is awarded. The International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, a coalition of disarmament activists, was honored today for its work to advance the negotiations that led to the first treaty to prohibit them. Here's a list of every Peace Prize laureate. The signing ceremony at the UN last month for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. The world's nine and nuclear-armed powers boycotted the negotiations and denounced the treaty as naive and dangerous diversion. Don Emert, Agence France-Presse, Getty Images. On Thursday, the British author Kazuo Ishiguro was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. Our book critic examined his disparate novels. Movie mogul paid off harassment claims. Harvey Weinstein, the Oscar-winning Hollywood producer, has been accused of sexual harassment for decades. A Times investigation found, and reached at least 8 settlements. Mr. Weinstein apologized on Thursday for his behavior, but a lawyer said the producer denies many of the accusations as patently false. Here's Mr. Weinstein's full statement. Harvey Weinstein apologized for behavior that he said has caused a lot of pain. Axel Coster-Corbis via Getty Images. Several Democratic lawmakers said they would transfer his campaign contributions to charity in Washington. President Trump is expected to overrule his national security advisors and decline to certify the Iran nuclear agreement. Doing so would reopen a volatile debate but wouldn't necessarily end the deal. Separately, efforts to wipe out Obama-era environmental laws are running into complications in courts. Here are 48 rules the Trump administration is trying to reverse. It also plans to roll back the federal requirement that employers include birth control coverage in health plans. Here we go again. Tropical storm Nate is expected to strengthen into a hurricane and strike the Gulf Coast over the weekend. We have a map tracking the storm. The Daily, your audio news report. In today's show, we talk to the Times reporters who uncovered decades of accusations against Harvey Weinstein. Listen on a computer, an iOS device or an Android device. Business. New U.S. rules could largely eliminate short-term, high-interest loans. Analysts expect modest job growth for September. Here's what to expect from today's report, to be released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. A young worker in Japan clocked 159 hours of overtime in a month. She died. U.S. stocks were up on Thursday. Here's a snapshot of global markets. Smarter living tips, both new and old, for a more fulfilling life. No wired headphone jack on your phone. See if wireless is best for you, and which headphones to buy. Recipe of the day. Round out the week with salmon in parsley sauce. Noteworthy. Celebrating comic books. In today's 360 video, visit the Manhattan offices of a top comic book artist in honor of New York Comic Con. Partisan writing you shouldn't miss. Writers from across the political spectrum discuss fractures in the Republican Party. Ready for the weekend. At the movies, we review Blade Runner 2049 and The Mountain Between Us, starring Kate Winslet and Idris Elba. Our critic loves The Florida Project, one of the most talked about films at Cannes this year. We also recommend 10 new books and TV based on how much time you have. In the Times Magazine, 6 writers reflect on their favorite cultural experiences of 2017, and a critic spent the summer listening only to albums by women. Here's what he learned. Is fashion modern? It's a question being asked at the Museum of Modern Art, with its first exhibition about clothing design since 1944. Read our art critic's review. At the Metropolitan Museum of Art, items Is fashion modern is an ambitious, high-concept effort that is as anthropological as it is aesthetic, our critic writes. Mark Wickens for the New York Times. Finally, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the Hamilton mastermind, talks to us about a single released on Thursday to benefit hurricane-battered Puerto Rico. Listen to it here. Best of late-night TV, the comedy hosts continued having fun with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Quotation of the day: in America, people are proud to be patriots, whereas in Spain, if you say that you're proud of your country, they say you're a fascist. But now people have a reason to go out into the streets to proudly show their flag. Carlota Caro, a 24-year-old lawyer who supported Spain's police crackdown on the Catalan referendum. The Cleveland Indians beat the New York Yankees, 40, in the opening game of their 5-game series on Thursday. All 4 of Major League Baseball's division series have games today. Gregory Shamuskati Images backstory: international competitors will gather in the Scottish village of Carbridge on Saturday to spoon up their best recipes for porridge. The top prize at the event, now in its 24th year, is the Golden Spurtle, named after the dowel-shaped kitchen tool Scots traditionally used to stir porridge without making it gluey. And wrong shoe for the New York Times. The competition includes 2 categories: classic porridge made with oatmeal pinhead, coarse, medium or fine, salt and water, and a specialty class that allows for experimentation. Countries around the world have their own versions of porridge: congee in China, upma in India and genfo in Ethiopia, but the Scots consider hot oatmeal the national breakfast. It's been a part of their diet since the Roman Empire. This year's competitors include a farmer and the head of Sweden's national anti-doping agency. Porridge will be judged on consistency, taste and color. Last year's winner was Bob Moore, founder of Bob's Red Mill Natural Foods in Oregon. He returns this year to try to retain the Golden Spurtle. "It's so meaningful for me. I've devoted my whole life to good eating of good oats," Mr. Moore said after his win last year. What are you making for breakfast this weekend? Here's some hearty inspiration. Remy Tubman contributed reporting. __________. Your morning briefing is published weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern and updated all morning. Browse past briefings here. If photographs appear out of order, please download the updated New York Times app from iTunes or Google Play. What would you like to see here? Contact us at briefing@newtimes.com. You can sign up here to get the briefing delivered to your inbox. Check out our full range of free newsletters here. Correction: October 6, 2017. An earlier version of this briefing misidentified the museum with a new exhibition about clothing design. It is the Museum of Modern Art, not the Metropolitan Museum of Art.